And quick throw from Kitara. They regain possession and open boot. And Chakwa almost going over the ball, but the referee has out the first card of the game. And the first card goes to Kitara. Not a play they would wish to have. And a booking for Ahewa Matthias. Shot number 10, Kitara, is booked. And he has to be so cautious for the remaining minutes to make sure he's not taken far. And Wandume, with control, has a pass in the below wing for Kisaki Lorian. And Lorian, doing so good of the vision, plays it to Chakwa, having good delivery, looking for Wakenge, good control, passes it over, headed on to Chakwa, and Chakwa shoots from distance and doesn't quite find the target. Chakwa Ashraf, and a player who features on the under-17 for the national team. And he had a very good goal from a corner against Lubiri in their group game. And he's a very vital, pivotal player for Kitende. Wanume plays it in the middle for Matovu. Now to Ochata. Ochata has a Trivela, not good enough. And in the middle, good play from Chitara, looking for the striker, Isingoma Anthony, but couldn't quite find him. And the goalkeeper, Etuta, takes good chance. Has quickly start looking for Wanume. Wanume has a diagonal in the lower wing. In the middle, Chakwa Ashraf has a last knock on the ball. And out of play it is for a throw in for Chitara. Jime Tumusime has a throw. Bad and horrible. Goes out of play. Remember, we are live on the USSSA YouTube channel and live as well on Tayari West TV. Straight from the hill of Kamukuzi in Mbara City. And that is channel 366 for DStv, channel 356 AZAM, channel 077 Zuku, and channel 468 for StarTimes. Also available on the Afro mobile app and available as well on the free-to-air decoders. A pass to Ochata. Ochata has a crossing, well defended by Kitara. Wakenge going for the area duels and back in the heart of defense. Kitende take possession, passing it to Wanume, and Wanume playing with Wakenge. Wakenge passing it to Matovu, Peter. Matovu cost them a goal against Lubiri, though they had a narrow win through passes flying in, and not a good tackle against him. Kajumba Wakenge diagonal on, looking for Lorian Kisache. Another bad control for him. And quick reaction on, looking for the captain, Ahewa Matthias. Loses possession in the center back to Wanume, playing with Wakenge. Wakenge moves on. Kitende looking for Lorian, and Ahewa Matthias almost intercepting. Matovu Peter regains possession. Good throw pass. Looking for Tugume and up to Ochata. Good run. Crosses it in and is well defended away. Back to Amanya. Humphrey has a good run against Ochata, and Humphrey is shielded out of play. Quick reaction on. Matovu Peter has a blocked effort. Chitara. Upper wing. A throw in for Chitara. And Jime Tusime to have the throw. To sit and give it to Kitara. And a long effort from Wembabazi Trevor into the safe hands of Etuta. Ball up front, looking for the goal scorer. Well defended, back to the wing of Amanya Humphrey, headed away. Wakenge wins back possession for Kitende and gives another blind pass. In the middle they go. Kitara looking for Humphrey, and that's a handball, and the referee spots it, and it is a free kick for Kitara in a quite vital position. And Wakenge lost the ball in a bad position and found diagonal from Lorian looking for Wakenge. Wakenge has a through pass looking for Ochata, but doesn't quite find him. And ball headed on in the middle. Wakenge wins the area to and a push. And Kitara so far looking so vulnerable. The free kick for Kitara, viewed from the upper wing. Nice carry from Amanya Humphrey, but efforts back to the center back of Wanume. Has a long one headed off by Kitara on the lower wing. Brian Azuna has good long one. Wakenge just picked back to the goalkeeper. Etuta has good touch, and Etuta starts it for Wanume. In the middle, traces Wakenge. Now Matovo Peter has a long one looking for Lorian Kisache. Lorian has a run on, and Lorian with a minus into the penalty area. And efforts from Kisiri is blocked, but the offside flag is up as well. And that brings relief to Kitara. And they have a free kick in a goal kick position. Long ball up, headed backwards. The goalkeeper, Etuta. Takes good chance. Long kick. Up front looking for Kisiriko. Very physical striker. And has a shot that meets the crossbar. So close. Clear-cut opportunity. And too much energy for too low output. I don't know if that's the basic for Etiko 9, but doesn't find the net in such an easy angle. They should be scratching their heads. Ochata plays it back to Wanume, and Wanume changes play below the sides. And Kisake Lorian involved in the battles. Kitara win the ball. And the win for Davis Saidusha. And now up the ball goes Wakenge. Cloudy has a good pass in the middle, and Chakua has so much of the space. Passes it in the left wing for Lorian Kisake. And Lorian has good dribbles and a cross in the penalty area looking for Tugume. And looks like there is a handball. It's spotted by the referee. And a free kick once again for Kitara in their own box. And another long one looking for Humphrey in the wing. Ochata heads it wide for a throw in for Kitara. And the left back Kisimejime to take charge of it. Of course, Kitara not attacking so much, and they have so many options. Still at the back, hold on at the attacking threat, and the narrow escape for Kitende on the low wing. The ball goes for Tugume. Tugume has dribbles on the lower wing. All together. And a very bad tackle against a tough. And on a bad day, would deserve a booking, but the referee little bit has sympathy. But a free kick for Kitara and a long ball to be taken on by Kunihira Timothy. Shot number for Kitara. Kunihira has a good chip headed off by Wandume and headed back on. And Lorian has it away. And Kitara still pushing, looking for Brian Ajuna. But control and out of play it goes. Throw in Kitende. Switch play looking for Wandume. And Wandume moves authoritatively with the ball. Plays with Ochata. Ochata looking for Matovu. And Matovu has it over. And a good pass looking for Lorian Kisake. Good dribbles, has a man off. And closing into the penalty area. Kisake, good delivery, looking for Ochata. Has a header in. And off target it is for another goal kick for Kitara. And the goalkeeper to take charge as Saba Shafiq has a long kick in the middle, headed forward. And Chakua playing with Ochata. Good pass, looking for Tugume. And another one, looking for Kajumba. Has good turns. Plays it with Matovu Peter. Long one looking for Lorian. And Lorian finds it on. And he will try to get some efforts. Looks for Ochata. And Ochata outside the box. Looking for Wakenge now in the right back position. Crosses it in. Well defended back to Matovu. It's not a good control. Finds Wandume. Switches play to Lorian Kisake. Good chest control. Playing it with Chakua. And a pass into the penalty area finds Kisiriko Dennis. Back to Lorian Kisake. And back to Chakua. Brilliant dribbles in the penalty area. One touch from Kisiriko. Blocked. And Wakenge passing it to Wandume. And Kitende building from the back. And having so much of the comfort. Log one for Kisiriko. Denny has the control and has so much of the footwork. Good enough. Passes it to Chakua. Has shooting options. Chooses to play it back to Matovu. Wakenge loading and plays it to Kajumba. And Kajumba loses possession. Up. They go. And a through pass from Bahati. Looking for Ahebwa Matthias in the middle. And good passes flying in. But Lorian regains possession for Kitende. Through pass on. Looking for Tugume. And Tugume has good chance. Plays it back to Ochata. Playing the one touch with Matovu. And switch play on for Kitende. Still 1-0 in charge of the game. And Lorian Kisache playing with the center back. Back to Wanume. And Wanume plays it to Wakenge. Wakenge. And a push against the goal scorer Kisiriko. Quick reaction, Matovu looking for Lorian Kisache. Has plenty of time to deliver a sweet cross. And headed away. Back to Wakenge. And Wakenge has a good one for Tugume. And Tugume plays it back to Wakenge. In the middle to Matovu Peter. And back to the heart of defense. Lorian Kisache on the lower wing. Playing with Chakua. And Lorian. So good of the footwork. One touch from Chakua back to Lorian. And Lorian finds a way into the penalty area. And passes it to Chakua. Poor control. And the rebound from Kajumba is off target. And Vipers finding so much chemistry up front. Good coordination among the players. And sweet passes flowing in. Giving the viewers some sweet football. Tugume passes it to Kajumba. One touch looking for Chakua. And shielded on. Chakua loses possession. And cleared away by Kitara. Back to Lorian Kisache. So confident. Has a pass up looking for Wanume. Passes it to Wakenge. And Wakenge moving up front has a good through pass. No one meets it. And Asaba collects for Kitara. Long one, and Wanume has a head off, and the goalkeeper Etuta collects, playing it to Wanume. Wanume has a long one, headed away. In the middle, Bahati and Matovu regains possession. Chakua, one touch to Tugume, has it so high, and cleared away by Katopol. And the goalkeeper, Tuta, confidently heads it to Wanume. In the middle, Wakenge playing with Matovu Tuta back to Wakenge. Through pass in the middle to Tugume. Plays it to a good control. And Ochata back to Tugume. In the middle, Wakenge has a good run. And Wakenge passes it to Chata. And the Chata can he have a good cross? Yes, he does, but headed away. And back to the throw-in for Kitende. And Tugume has a quick throw to Wakenge. Back to Tugume. And back to Wakenge. Through person for Chakua. Loses possession. And the Chata playing with Wanume. Back to Chakua. And Chakua chips it. Not good enough and headed away. Matovu Peter shielded. And they regain possession. Chakua passes it to Lorian. And Lorian has a shot from distance. Not good enough. And off target it is. For a goal kick. For Kitara. And the goalkeeper Asaba to take charge. Asaba has it on. Back to the Chata. Good shield. Back to Wakenge. And Wakenge passes it on the lower wing. And Kitara look to be a little bit shivering upon the game. Not putting so much of an attack threat. And Bahati almost regaining possession. Matovu Peter regains it for Kitende and Chakua playing with Lorian. And Lorian passes it over to Tugume. Shot from distance. And finds the second for Kitende. The sons of Vipers. Yes, they are the sons of Vipers. And No mistake in Kitende and Vipers. It's so normal. And of course, Vipers equally eager to lift the UPL trophy. 3 points ahead of bitter rivals KCCA. And unfortunately, Vipers are on a bad run. They've not been able to get a win in their last 3. They have 3 consecutive draws. They drew against Police on Tuesday. Of a champion, but they still hold on, and we wait and see. Kitara SS are also a son to a UPL club, Kitara FC, who have been threatening to compete on the UPL, but not able enough, and they are now 4th, and of course, obviously out of the title conversation, because they are far away at 54 points, 7 points behind Vipers. With 2 games to go, it's nearly impossible for them. And 16 wins this season, 6 games and 6 losses for them. Hasn't been so good. And that's Kitara FC, the Royals, and the fathers to Kitara SS, who are currently the champions of Bunyoro region. And they've had quite a good run. But we wait and see. They play away to Bull on Tuesday and play at home against Police in their final game. At least they should be fighting to play in the pre-season tournament for the UPL. And now Ochata in possession for Kitende. Passes on the ball to Chakwa. And Bahati regains control for Kitara. Has a long one into the safe territory of the goalkeeper, Etuta Seraje. Has a long one up front, looking for Kisiriko Dennis. Very physical player, has it on the chest. And on the lower wing, good footwork, and Chakua is tackled down. And the referee awards a free kick to Kitende on the lower side. It's rather a throw-in for Kitende, and Matovu Peter passes it up to Wakenge. And change of space, looking for Ochata. And Ochata moves on. As a through pass, looking for Tugume, 0 touch. Well defended away by Kitara, and in the middle, headed on to Chakua. Loses the area of duel. And up front, there you go, Kitara. Isingoma Anthony battles for the ball, loses it. And to Chakua. Through pass looking for Lorian. So swift. Requiring so swift game reading. And out of play it is for a throw in Kitara. Ball on. And Ahebwa Matthias doing so much of the battle. Loses it to Chakwa. Through pass looking for Chakwa again on the left wing. And Chakwa finds it comfortable. Passes it back to Lorian. Matovu Peter. Wakenge Cloudy. Back to Wanume. And Wanume has it back. And passes it to Claude Wakenge. Wakenge looking for Kajumba. Back to Wakenge. Now Matovu Peter. Wakenge again. Back to Matovu. And back to Wakenge. Kajumba. Back to Wakenge. And back to Kajumba. Has space. Decides to chip. And Ochata has good control. Through pass for Wakenge. Turns. And the shot is blocked. Back to Kajumba, finding Lorian and loses possession. Brian Ajuna making a good run below and looking for Isingoma Anthony, loses possession. And back they have Ahebra Matthias, loses it again in the middle. Chakwa makes a turn. Confidently, and Chakwa, no threat against him, passes it to Ochata. And back in the middle to Matovu Peter, passes it below. And Vipers are playing so comfortable. Passes flying in. So easy for them. One Nume passing it to Wakenge. And Wakenge has a one looking for Kajumba for a good control. Chases and out of play it is for a throw in for Kitara Secondary School.
No, they give us a boost.
Throw in on. Looking for Brian Ajuna and battling for the ball to Gume. Has it out of play for another throw in for Kitara on the low side. Free kick. Looks like there was a foul spotted on by the referee. And long ball from Kitara headed on. Wakenge chest control plays it to Chakua. And Chakua has a tricky pass, not good enough. And Kisiriko Dennis fights for it, wins it, and not a good control from Amanya Humphrey. And in the middle, Matovu Peter has it to Kisiriko. Matovu chasing on, and Chakua owns possession, has a good through pass, looking for Kisiriko. Good tackle on. And Kisiriko regains it in the penalty area. Matovu has a long cross looking for Kajumba, heads it back in and cleared away by Ahebwa Matthias. Not so far. Wakenge has a good bender looking for Ochata and well defended out of the play and a throw in for Kitende. Wakenge Claude has a quick throw. Back to him. Wakenge passes it to Ochata. And Ochata finding passes through to Chakua. Ochata. And Ochata deflects the shot on Kisiriko Dennis. And out of play it is for a goal kick. Chitara. And a long clearance from Tusime Jime. Chakua zone in the middle and loses possession once again. Through pass intercepted by Loria. Matovu Peter has it so high, looking for Tugume. And Tugume shields the ball, has comfortable possession, and later has it out for a throw in. Looking for Arjuna Brian. In the low wing for Kitara, loses possession. Matovu Peter, Lorian, back to Matovu. Through pass to Chakua. And Chakua losing most of the balls and has a foul now against Ahebwa Matthias at the center of the pitch. And that is a free kick for Kitara.
We are just now we record.
And a long ball from Kunihira headed in the heart of defense. And Ahebwa is taken off for possession. And Tukume regains for Kitende. Has a good control. A through pass. Looking for Kajumba. Doesn't quite find him. But a throw in it is for Kitende. Back to Lorian. In the middle, Wakenge has some magical foot, looking for Chakua, and Chakua once again loses possession, and now up high, finds Amanya Humphrey, has a long one up front, headed away. Lorian Kisach has good control and good footwork, plays it back, and one Nume has it for Kitende and passes it to Cloudy Wakenge. Matovu Peter back to Wakenge Cloudy. I'm looking for Kisiriko. Back to Wakenge, plays with Kisiriko. And back to Ochata, the captain, playing it with Wanume. And a twist in the wing for Kitende, looking for Chakua as a one touch. And chasing on is Matthias. And Chakua has a simple touch to Lorian Kisake on the left wing. And Lorian back to Chakua, shooting space. And has it over the bar. Another chance bottle for Kitende, who are looking forward to challenging the high score lines in the round of 32. We already have the biggest margins being 4-0. Chadondo had 4-0 in their win prior to the game. And the other one being Menta, who had so bitter punishment against Ibasco, that is Ibanda SS. Matovu Peter plays a diagonal looking for Lorian, and Ta plays a diagonal looking for Lorian, and on target it is. And on target it is. And Lorian has an equally good cross, Kachumba. Lorian has an equally good cross, Kachumba. Heads on into the hand. Heads on into the hands of the goalkeeper, and the referee blows the halftime whistle. And quite a comfortable first half for St. Mary's Boarding Kitende. First half for St. Mary's Boarding Kitende. And 2 goals to put them comfortably ahead. And the first half just for motivation for Kitara SS, who have a do or die second half to defend well and get some goals if they are to find a way into the round of 16.
Cuando una avance tú le y yo estoy bueno para la palabra. Again. That's it. That rap, 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 rap. You don't take my chair.
And so back we are for the second half between St. Mary's Boarding Kitende and Kitara SS, the champions of Kitara region. And Kitara kickstart the second half with so much of an effort, but not
Oh, yes. Yes, God, you have very good. Museum pick up game.
and off we are for the second half. Remember, we are live on USSSA YouTube channel. You can go to YouTube, search USSSA online, subscribe, click on the bell so that whenever we have new content loading, you can have a notification and be notified as soon as possible. And we are live as well on Tayari West TV, that is channel 366 for DStv, channel 356 for AZAM, channel 077 for Zuku, and channel 468 for StarTimes. The channel is also available on the Afro mobile app and available as well on the free-to-air decoders located in Kamukuzi, that is Mbarara City. Tayari West TV, Irakarito and Ochata running into the penalty area, well defended, and battle still on, an effort blocked and cleared away by Tumusime Jime, and back for Lorian Kisache, has good control for Kitende, and passes it back to Wanume in the heart of defense, playing it to Matovu Peter, passes it on in the middle. Luke has good touch and passing on. Kitende have a new entrant, and that is Kabito Marvin, shirt number 17, to have pivot in the midfield. Throw in on the lower flank for Kitara secondary. Two schools that do so much of the investment in the football game. Kitara SS against St. Mary's Kitende. Of course, both having feeder clubs that are playing in the Uganda Premier League. Kitende being a son to Viper Sports Club, who are currently top of the Uganda Premier League, 3 points ahead of KCCA. Vipers at 61 and KCCA at 58. So much to watch, but Vipers winless in their previous 3 UPL games. 3 consecutive draws for them. Their latest being against Police on Tuesday, but they play away to Maroons on Tuesday and then play Express on the final day. 2 games to go, 3 points ahead, and a chance for Kisiriko to get a brace for himself on the day. And the third for St. Mary's Boarding Kitende, 3-0, comfortable lead for them. And now all they do is to defend and find more and see a way into the round of 16. Remember, we have so many big boys already finding comfort in the round of 16. And the defending champion Nubudo SS was the first to arrive in the round of 16. They beat Kisozi Seed earlier on in the morning, 3-0. And Mbale Progressive being the second They eliminated Masindi SS in penalties. It was 0-0 in normal time, but Mbale Progressive won it 5-4 on penalties. Kawempe Muslim also in. They eliminated Chichwamba 2-0 in the morning. And London College Nasana beat Agape by 2-1. And for the mid-morning games, Chadondo SS won easily against Mukono Kings High School by 4-0. And Jipra Ginger Progressive Academy eliminated by Amus via penalties. It was 0-0 in normal time. Amus won 4-2 in penalties. Nkoma SS eliminating Singo by 2-1. Menta eliminated Ibanda by 4-0. And then Bukedia Comprehensive South have just won their game against Bristol SS by 3-0. And Bukedia looking to be a contender this year. Muvara also pulled up a comeback to eliminate Numasa by 3-2. Greenlight Islamic eliminated Puyi. The second most decollated team, boys football, is out at the round of 32. It was 0-0 in normal time, but Greenlight won by 3-2 in penalties. And Busia SS eliminated St. Joseph's Buyaga 0-0 at normal time and 5-4 in favor of Busia in penalties. But more of the games going across on the grounds for the last bunch of the round of 32. And at Lira Town College, Masaka SS is taking on Lakeside SS. Medina Islamic is taking on Aiden College at Lango College Pitch. And Ngora High School are down by 1-0 at halftime. Lubiri SS leading. That is at Dr. Obote 1 pitch. Just besides this pitch, where St. Mary's Kitende is doing punishment against Kitara SS. And so far, it's 3-0. And that will be marking the day for the round of 32. And tomorrow, more action still to come for the round of 16. But the classification games are also taking charge on the grounds elsewhere. And there was an update of so big comic, so much comedy in a penalty shootout between Lira Town College, the home team, and Musa Christian High School. The game was 1-1 at normal time, but in penalties, it went as far as 35 spot kicks. And at the end, Lira Town College, the home team, won by 16-15. Yeah, the highlights are available at the USSSA YouTube channel. Yes. And a throw in on the lower wing for Kitara SS. And on in the middle, Kitara SS are pushing on, but not too good enough. Matovu Peter for Kitende. Passes it back to Matovu. And Kabito playing with Lorian Kisache. And a good pass, well blocked. And the handball on for Kitende. And a kick to be taken on by Kitara. Long ball up front. And in the wing for Amanya Humphrey. Dashes it in. And not good enough. And the shot number 10 chases on but doesn't quite find it. Too little, too late for him. Goal kick it is for Kitende. And Hetuta Siraje to take charge of it. Hetuta has a long one up front looking for Kajumba. Plays it with Kabito. And Kabito pushing on. Has a through pass looking for Lorian. Goalkeeper to beat, and Lorian makes no mistake and equals the tally for the biggest wins in round of 32 at the USSSA Boys Football 4-0 it is for Kitende, and the right back Lorian Kisaki had a very good run on the left wing, and the goalkeeper to beat. So easy for him. Finds the back of the net, and 4-0 is the third of the day in the round of 32. Menta SS had an equal goal tally against Ibasco earlier on in the morning, and then Chadondo also had an equal tally against Mukono Kings High School earlier on, and now Kitende equally matched the challenge, 4-0 against the champions of Bunyoro region. And play resumes. Kitara now looking to be suffocated by Kitende, and Kitende still doing the passes. Matovu Peter, Kabito, one touches on, and Kabito moving on. Has a through pass, looking for Kisiriko Dennis with a brace on the day, and Kisiriko skips a tackle, but the ball is out for a goal kick for Kitara Secondary. And Kitara have a long kick. They gift the ball back to Kitende, and headed on forward. Wanume has a shield for the goalkeeper Etuta. So comfortable with the ball. And finally collects. And will have the kick. Long ball on for Chitende. Looking for Kisiriko Dennis up front. Has a good control. And Kisiriko plays it back to Lorian Kisache. The most recent goal scorer, playing with Kabito. Loses possession. Long one up front for Kitara. Looking for the options of the Singoma Anthony. Loses possession. Plays with Ochata on the low wing for Wakenge Cloudy. Back to Ochata Collins. And Ochata plays a Trivela. Back to the goalkeeper Etuta. Has a one touch in the middle. Matovu Peter. Not a good control. And gives the ball to Kajumba. Good pass looking for Lorian Kisache. So confident left back. And Ian has a through pass looking for Kisiriko. In the hunt for the hat-trick. And Kisiriko is flagged offside. And of course, so eager to get a hat-trick, which could be the first of its kind for Kitende in the tournament for this year. Because Amus already had a hat-trick. And on they go, Wanume. Good footwork, plays with Ochata. Ochata played it with Wakenge Cloudy. Bad pass, but regains possession. Wakenge putting some physical ability, looking for Ochata. But looks like the ball was out of play. And the throw in awarded to Kitara Secondary. On. And well defended by Matovu Peter. And Matovu Peter should be paying for his sins. Has good passes. And Lorian Kisake passes it up to Matovu Peter. So good of the passes from Kitende. Chakua back to Lorian. And back to Chakua. Back to Lorian. Looking for the fifth. Patched away by the goalkeeper. And played over the bar by Kisiriko Dennis. Still on search of his hat-trick for Kitara. Not whistled by the referee. Kajumba for Kitende. Moving on. Plays it on the low wing for Ochata. And Ochata well involved. Plays it below. Chata making the runs. Interceptions. Plays it back to Matovu Peter. Up for Kabito. Has a good turn. And the through pass. Blind pass. Kabito regains possession. Matovu Peter passes it to Wakenge. Through pass on the lower wing for Ochata. The captain has a diagonal. Prevents him once again. Asaba has a long kick. Well defended. And on for Lorian Kisache. Plays a back pass. In the middle to Matovu Peter. Passes it to Kabito. Back to Matovu Peter. And Matovu so confident. Slow but sure. Plays it to Kabito. Over to Wakenge. In the middle to Kajumba. Back to Wakenge. Wanume. Passes it back to the territory of the goalkeeper. Positioning to have a touch on the ball. Passes in the middle to Chakua. Lorian. Up front to Kisiriko Dennis. Good control. Back to Lorian. And Lorian passes it over to Chakua. Chakua. Back to Lorian. Passes on to Chakua. Good pass. Well played by Kabito. Back to Matovu Peter. Passes on to Wakenge. And Chakua back to Wakenge. Now looking for Lorian Kisache. Has a good cross in. Looking for Chakua. And the goalkeeper takes charge. And the flag for offside is up as well. And 3 substitutions coming on for St. Mary's Boarding Kitende. They are looking forward to resting their players for the round of 16 action. And off goes Matovu Peter as the first substitute off. And paves way for Sebagala Ibra. Shot number 6 for Kitende. And Kisiriko Dennis, with a brace on the day, is taken off without grabbing a hat-trick for himself and replaced by Siraje James. And Ochata Collins brought off as well and replaced by Mubiru Samuel. The captain is taking fight on the day. And now play resumes. In the middle, Sebagala Ibra has a diagonal looking for Kisake. And ball defended away on the upper wing. And out of play it is. For a throw in. Lorian Kisache has it below. Back to him. Plays the middle for Wakenge. Back to Kabito. Plays it in the middle. Sebagala plays it behind to Wanume Alvin. Plays it in the middle to Kabito. One touch from Chakua. And Kabito has a good turn. Plays it below for Sebagala Ibra. Blind pass for the newcomer. And another blind from Chitara. And Chakua playing some trickery. Kajumba back to Chakua. Playing it up. Looking for Lorian Kisache. Doesn't quite find him.
Oh, what do you think?
And the throw-in is on. And they regain possession. Kitara. And the Hewa Matthias, shot number 10, Kitara, has some good footwork and has another good run against Wakenge. And Wakenge putting so much of the physical ability and out of play for a throw. The throw for them. And leaves the throw away. Ball on. I know Mujisha plays it on. Wakenge regains possession. Has a bender. Blind person. Finds Amanya Humphrey. Doing some good deliveries. Looking for Baha Tampire. And back to Amanya Humphrey. Loses possession. And on they go. Kitende now in possession. Up. And a through pass looking for Lorian. And Lorian has good control of the ball. Passes it back to Chakua. And they lose possession. Long one below for Wanume. Has good control. And plays it in the middle for Kabito. Kabito plays it back to Mubiru. Mubiru plays it below to Wanume. And Wanume moving so comfortably. Has a good throw pass up front. Looking for Siraje James minus. And Kajumba has it off target. And the fourth substitution on the day for Kitende. And Chakua is taken off, shot number 20. And he's been bottling so many balls. And on comes Opakroth Elvis, shot number for Kitende, to also have some few minutes of play. And a foul. Close to the box. And a free kick for Kitende. Wakenge Cloudy to take charge of it. Plays it a back pass to the goalkeeper Etuta. Siraje passing it over to Mubiru. And Mubiru passes it to Lorian. Back to Wakenge. Wakenge plays it below to Wanume. And Wanume moving on. Has a good through pass up front. Looking for Siraje James. Plays it back to Wakenge Cloudy. Up to Lorian. Moving on to Kabito. And Kabito has some good dribbles. Has a long one. For the long of play it is. For a goal kick for Kitara. Long ball from Kitara. Wanume clears it back into the Kitara half. And another goal kick for Kitara. And play resumes. Kitara trying to build from the back. They have a long one on the line. Intercepted, and Kitende. Not good touches. Wakenge battling for it, and Bahati has a long one for Kitara. And pushes on. Lorian Kisake having so much of the protection for the ball and has a good dribble. Lorian the other action of the round of 32, and of course many more of the games going on. Long pass on, well controlled up by Singoma Anthony, and passes flying in, looking for Inomugisha Davis, long one, and Wanume clears it away, headed on by Kajumba. Loses possession, but regained in the middle by Sebagala Ibra. Has a pass on the lower wing. And a back pass to Wanume. Wanume has it on the line. Well controlled by Siraje James. Back in the middle. Ball pass to Wakenge. And Wakenge, moving on, has a through pass to Kajumba. Good control. Played back by Kabito to Mubiru. And Mubiru passes it to Wanume. Back on the lower wing. And a good pass. Well defended by Kitara. Sime Jime has nice defense and a good cross. Kajumba has good control. Passes it over to Lorian Kisache. And Kisake, ready to bring in a cross, has a good dribble. Passes it back to Wakenge. And below it is. And going for a shot. Doing the dribbles. And Wakenge shields it. And a goal kick. And looks like there is need for fresh legs for Kitara. And off goes Ahebra Matthias. The shot 10 for them. And the shot boy, probably one of the best players for Kitara on the day. And on comes Athura Biencha. Shot number 8 for Kitara. Touch. Possession. And there is a foul from Wakenge Claude. And a free kick for Kitara Secondary School. And in the middle it is. And Twesje Christopher has a long one headed away. Back in the middle. Headed back. And now attacking option Seraje James. Making a run. And miscommunication. Sees them have the ball out of play for a throw in. And the throw in on. Headed away by Sebagala Ibra. And in the middle they go. Upper cross Elvis has a good pass. And well tackled off. And the referee spots a foul. And a quick reaction for Lorian. Kisache plays it in the middle for Opakroth. Very bad control. And a long one on the lower wing now. Looking for Amanya Humphrey. So active on the lower wing. And wins them a throw in. Close to the Kitende box. And to see Mejime to take charge of the throw. And a long one on. Well kept out of play. And headed away. Runs going on. And they regain possession. Wembabazi Trevor trying to battle out for it. Is Singoma Anthony up front. And loses possession. And Kitende regain. On the lower wing, Opakroth Elvis has a left pass to Kavito. And Kavito passes it back to Opakroth. Back to Kavito. And almost losing possession close to the box. But finds a way to pass it through. And Kavito pushing on. Has good footwork. Passes it to Wakenge. And in the middle they go. One touch. Looking for Kavito. Plays it in the middle to Sebagala Ibra. And Ibra passes it back to Wanume. In the middle, Wakenge Cloudy has possession. Trivela pass looking for Kajumba. Makes a run and battling for the ball. And cleared out of play by Ainomujisha Davis for Kitara. For another throw in. For Kitende, close to the Kitara box. Upper wing. And it must be Lorian Kisache having the throw. And Lorian throws it back to Wakenge. And a good pass from Lorian. And a long one in the penalty area. That's a fair play. 2 balls on the pitch to interrupt play And play resumes. The goalkeeper Asaba Shafiq has a long one for Kitara. And a big one looking for Bahati. Has it on. Cleared away by Wanume on the upper wing. And out of play it goes. For a throw in. And a quick throw on. Sebagala Ibra clears away. Headed back by Kitara. Looking for Humphrey. And out of play it is. For a throw in Kitende. Wakenge has control in the middle. And moves forward. Passes it to Lorian Kisache. And Lorian has a pass on. Well defended by Kitara. In the middle. Bahati plays a good pass looking for Athura. And loses possession to Lorian. Kisache plays it back to Mobiru. And Mobiru plays it in the middle to Wakenge. Back to Wanume. He's had so much of the command for defense. Plays it to Mobiru. A substitute newly introduced on. And Mobiru passes it to Lorian. Kisache has it in the middle for Kabito. And on the upper wing, Kajumba has good control. And Kajumba has a player off. And a curve. Not on target. And a goal kick for Kitara. Play resumes. Up they go. Aino Mugisha Davis has a blind pass. Lorian Kisake for Kitende plays it to Wakenge. And below to Sebagala Ibra. Has a good turn. Sebagala has a pass to Kisake Lorian. And Lorian having vision. Passes it below to Wakenge. Cloudy has it below to the right back. And in the middle they go. Good turns. And a shot from distance. Good efforts from Siraja James. Punched out by the goalkeeper Asaba. For Kitara. And the corner for Kitende. And up across Elvis to deliver the corner for Kitende. And the referee doing some command in the box. And quick start back to Opakroth. Has a curve punched by the goalkeeper. And later has good hands on the ball. Asaba Shafiq has a long one headed away by Mubiru. Back to Lorian Kisache. Passes it in the middle. Kavito. Good dribbles. Good confidence. Has a through pass below to Opakroth Elvis. And Opakroth, good left-footed player, loses possession. And to Sime Jime has it over on the line. But was going on and a player down. Bahati clears it away for safety. Looking for his Singoma, Anthony. And he's down. 2 players down. Singoma Anthony for Kitara. And another for Kitende. Medical attention required. For Kitende. And of course, they are having so much comfort in the game. And play restarts for a pass up to Athura. And Athura, the effort is blocked, and Mobiru clears it up front, looking for Kajumba, looking for the fifth of the day. And Kajumba runs on, has a take on, and ball tackled back to Kajumba, has a cross in, and flagged offside, and a push against Tusime Jime for a free kick for Kitara SS. And a long one looking for Piencha, doesn't meet it, and now Lorian makes a run on the upper wing. Lorian going on, has a through pass, well blocked, regains possession to Kabito, and a foul by Lorian Kisache, and that's sportsmanship, and he has very good sympathy and apologizes. Lorian has an open boot and feels so much touched, so much sympathy, and that's the heart of a player. The referee had not whistled, but Lorian took caution and apologized. And now Kitara are just a few minutes from accepting the hardships of reality. 4-0, Kitende still ahead and pushing for a fifth, but not yet lucky enough to find the back of the net. Long ball from Kitara, headed away, and in the middle they go. Good run from Kitende. Seraje James in possession, plays it on the line for Sebagala. Ibra has a good run, but a long one, and cuts the ball in. The goalkeeper collects. And looks like it's a terrible occasion for Sebagala. Ibra, the newly introduced on sub for Kitende, looks to be in a little bit of critical condition. And he remains out of play. But play resumes, and Kitara passes the ball up to Kabito, and back in the middle for Wakenge. And Wakenge moves on. Wakenge with so much confidence and dribbles someone for the boots out. Ball played back to Wanume. And Wanume has a through pass on the lower wing. And the chase is not too good. Out of play it is. And I think the next time the fans should be in a pavilion, not just by the pitch. In the middle, Bahati has a through pass on the lower wing, looking for Amanya. Humphrey, back to Bahati, and back to Amanya. Wakenge has a good tackle. Out of play, but the tackle was on the ball, not on the player, and that's not a foul at all. And that's a corner for Kitara on the lower wing. And Tusime Jime, the man to deliver the corner. And Tusime Jime has a delivery headed off. And that is the final whistle, and somehow last year's runners-up find a way into the round of 16, 4-0, equaling the national football for boys. 4-0. Chadondo had 4-0 against Mukono Kings. And that was Menta SS against Ibanda. Menta, the champions of Lango region, also winning by 4-0. And now, here they are into the round of 16. They've had a good year. St. Mary's Kitende. They are the champions of the CAF African Schools Championship. They brought silver in second place, losing to Senegal. And now they are the champions of Wakiso, eliminating Chadondo. And they are here back in the round of 16. Who they face is what to be seen tomorrow. But at full time, St. Mary's Boarding Kitende 4, KITARA SS 0. I was Epi Haaland, and we